Welcome to section 2 of the training, and this is for ACD phone usage. We're going to go over how to utilize the ACD phones and the small differences that we have in operation between a regular phone. First, I want to point out the differences because it does make a huge change in the way that you operate the phones. So on a basic phone, if you press the speaker key, or if you lift the handset, you are met with your first call appearance and a dial tone. On an ACD phone, that is not the case. The ACD phone has your personal call 1, call 2, but it also has an ACD extension. So the phone needs to know what you want to use. So to do so, you have to select the button. So if I just press the speaker key, I don't get a dial tone. If I lift the handset, I don't get a dial tone. I have to tell it I want to use either my personal lines up top or the ACD lines on the lower left. I'll say I want to use my call 1. Now I can press that button prior to and then press speaker, or I can press it prior to and lift my handset, or I can lift my handset and then press the key, or press my speaker and then press the key. But that's the big difference between the two phones. The front desk phones will require you to select the key. Other than that, the basic phone functions, the call parking, the pick up a park, the call to making and receiving and transferring calls are all the same. ACD line keys. On the bottom row of your phone, you have the ACD line keys. The first one is your actual ACD dial tone. The next button is your log in button. The next button is a work button. The next one is a break button. There is a call waiting button. And for future use, we're going to have an assist button. So let's start out. We need to log into our ACD. Hit the login button and put in your ACD user code, followed by the pound sign. Your phone is going to beep and you're going to see that the work mode is flashing. That's a 30-second timer just to make sure that you're getting ready and you're ready to start receiving phone calls. Once the 30 seconds is up, or if you just press the work button, it'll put you in the ready mode and you will receive phone calls at that point. And if somebody calls the ACD, you'll answer the call. Now, notice one thing. When you're an ACD agent, the system knows that when your phone is ringing, you're going to be answering the ACD ringing line. So you notice I did not have to push the button. It makes it a little bit easier on you. But for all other functions, we do have to choose the line button. Now you'll see after I have completed an ACD call, the phone is put back into work mode. It lets you wrap up and finish up whatever notes you need to do before receiving another phone call. The other buttons on your ACD phone are work button and a break button. The work button can set your phone into 3 different work types. One is your after call work. So basically it comes on after you're on a call as a 30-second timer. 2 is with a patient, and 3 is administrative work. Your break button has 4 settings. 1 is personal, 2 is lunch, 3 is break 1, and 4 is break 2. Now to activate these, you simply press the work button or the break button and dial the code 1, 2, or 3, or 4, and then pound. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself into lunch mode. I'm going to hit work 2 pound. That puts me in work mode. I will stay in work mode until I come back from lunch and press the work button, which will then put me back in the queue. Now your break button, that will either be timed or you'll activate it and deactivate it using the button. If you go into break mode 1, which is after call work, after a phone call, that will automatically put you back into the ready mode. Now, I want to make one major footnote that you must be aware of. That is that when you receive an ACD call, if you are unable to get that call after a short period of time, the phone will stop ringing and it'll go on to the next agent. That is going to put your phone in a permanent work mode because the system is going to assume that you have stepped away from your desk and forgot to tell the system. So when that happens, you are going to need to press your work button to put yourself back in a ready mode to receive ACD calls. Finally, we have a waiting button. The waiting button simply lights up when a call is waiting in queue. The more calls that get backed up in the queue will start the waiting light flashing, and it will start flashing faster and faster depending on how busy the queue is and how backed up it is. So when you see a waiting light, you just know there's a call waiting. When you see a flashing waiting light, there's a few calls waiting, and if at all possible, let's step up our game so we can move forward and take the incoming calls. Finally, there is an assist button, which will be utilized in the future, which will allow the agent to tap that button and get the supervisor to monitor the call and help out the situation that you may be having. Once again, that is a future feature. That completes our ACD phone training. The final segment will be the ACD software training.